Tom Bauer has once again returned to the spotlight with explosive new claims about the marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. According to reports surrounding the upcoming updated edition of his controversial book, Bauer believes a hidden legal agreement signed in 2020 could completely reshape Harry's future. The document, allegedly signed during one of the darkest emotional periods of Harry's life, is said to contain a powerful clause connected to ownership, branding, and future earnings. Bauer claims Harry may not have fully understood the long-term consequences of what he signed, and now fears the agreement could one day cost him control over his image, projects, finances, and even parts of his public identity. When Bauer first released his book about Meghan and Harry, it immediately created headlines across the world. The book accused Meghan of carefully controlling her public image, influencing Harry's relationship with the royal family, and managing nearly every aspect of their shared life behind the scenes. The reaction from Meghan's supporters and legal representatives was reportedly intense, but Bauer refused to back away. Instead, he continued investigating and speaking with dozens of individuals connected to the Sussex circle, including former staff members, media insiders, and people familiar with their business arrangements. According to Bauer, many of these accounts painted a similar picture, one of strict control, careful planning, and long-term financial strategy. Former staff members allegedly told Bauer that communication around Harry became heavily filtered over time. Messages from friends, family, and advisors were reportedly managed in a way that allowed only certain perspectives to reach him. Some insiders claimed Harry gradually became isolated from people who once played major roles in his life. Others described a working environment where employees who questioned decisions or raised concerns were quickly pushed aside. Bauer says these stories were repeated by multiple individuals independently, which convinced him there was a deeper pattern developing behind palace walls and later inside the couple's California life. One of the biggest claims in Bauer's investigation centers around financial planning that allegedly began years before the couple stepped back from royal duties. According to sources quoted by Bauer, discussions about separate business structures and independent control over future revenue were already taking place as early as 2019. This was before the public fallout, before the move to California, and before major streaming deals with media companies were announced. Bauer believes these preparations show that long-term independence, both financially and professionally, was being built quietly behind the scenes, long before the world realized anything was changing. The most shocking allegation involves a reported amendment to a legal agreement signed by Harry in 2020. Bauer claims the document included intellectual property language connected to the Sussex brand, media projects, trademarks, future earnings, and public identity rights. According to his sources, the agreement allegedly gave Meghan stronger legal authority over shared business ventures and future projects tied to Harry's royal image or public platform. Bauer argues that this type of clause could become extremely important if the marriage were ever to break down legally. He describes it not simply as a financial agreement, but as a structure that could influence future control over branding, storytelling, and commercial opportunities for years to come. Bauer also points toward Meghan's earlier experiences in Hollywood and her previous marriage as part of a larger pattern. He claims she learned early on the importance of protecting personal earnings, maintaining independent ownership, and controlling public narratives during difficult moments. According to his reporting, Meghan consistently focused on building separate structures around her projects and reputation, ensuring that her career and financial future would remain protected no matter what happened personally. Bauer believes that same strategy later carried into the Sussex business empire after the royal exit. As the couple built new ventures in California, Bauer says more signs of separation quietly appeared beneath the surface. Businesses, trademarks, podcast arrangements, publishing deals, and lifestyle projects reportedly began appearing under Meghan's individual control. At the same time, Harry became increasingly focused on court battles, media lawsuits, and public disputes with British newspapers and royal institutions. According to Bauer's sources, this imbalance may eventually become critical if legal or financial disputes ever emerge between the couple in the future. Despite the dramatic claims, it is important to remember that many of these allegations remain unverified publicly. and are based largely on anonymous sources connected to Bauer's investigation. Neither Harry nor Meghan has confirmed the existence of the specific legal clauses being discussed, and much of the narrative comes from interpretation rather than official court documents. Still, Bauer insists the patterns he uncovered over years of interviews reveal a much larger story unfolding behind closed doors, one involving power, control, money, loyalty, and the collapse of trust inside one of the world's most watched marriages. In the end, Bauer's updated investigation paints a deeply tragic picture of Harry's journey. He describes a man emotionally wounded long before marriage, searching for stability and understanding after years of public pressure, royal expectations, and unresolved grief following the death of his mother, Princess Diana. According to Bauer, Harry may have entered this relationship believing he had finally found peace, only to become trapped inside a world of legal agreements, business structures, and emotional isolation he never fully understood. Whether those claims are ultimately true or exaggerated, the story has once again reignited global debate around the future of the Sussex marriage and the real power dynamics hidden behind royal headlines. Bauer also claims custody issues could eventually become one of the most painful parts of any future legal conflict. Under California family law, courts often examine which parent has been most consistently present in the daily lives of the children. Because Harry has spent long periods traveling internationally for court cases, charity events, and royal-related matters, while Meghan remained more consistently based in California, Bauer's sources believe this could potentially strengthen her legal position in any custody battle. He claims documentation of travel schedules, caregiving patterns, and household routines could all become important factors if a separation were ever officially filed. Despite how dramatic and detailed these allegations sound, it is important to note that much of Bauer's reporting relies heavily on anonymous sources, interpretations, and insider accounts that remain publicly unverified. Neither Harry nor Meghan has confirmed the existence of the specific legal clauses described in these reports, and no official court filings currently support many of the claims circulating online. However, the reason Bauer's work continues attracting massive attention is because of his long history investigating powerful public figures and producing highly controversial biographies that often spark intense public debate. In the end, Bauer paints the Sussex marriage not as a simple love story gone wrong, but as a complicated collision between royalty, celebrity culture, money, trauma, media power, and personal ambition. He believes Harry may have sacrificed far more than he ever realized in pursuit of freedom, emotional connection, and a new life outside the royal institution. According to Bauer's warning, if the hidden legal structures and financial arrangements he describes are real, Harry could one day face not only the collapse of his marriage, but also the loss of control over his image, his projects, his business empire, and even parts of the royal identity he spent his entire life carrying. Whether those predictions ultimately come true or not, the claims have once again reignited worldwide fascination with the hidden reality behind one of the most talked about relationships in modern royal history.